Hi all. In this video, I'm going to explain about msal library, which is a JavaScript library given by Microsoft to support anyone logging into Azure AD. Right, we call it as a B2C login. So you use this library in JavaScript. Most of the client and server frameworks like Angular or it's a .NET actually uses this msal library, which is embedded within the programming language, and you will use it without knowing it, right? But what we're gonna do in this video is we're gonna use this explicitly downloaded by and attached to this HTML, and we're gonna use that. So this is just so in case if you wanna in your server side, in your client side programming, you wanna check, okay, if the button is clicked and you wanna check whether the user is logged in, or you wanna completely log out the user, you can use this functionality. There are many use cases, and one of the use cases is this one. So I have downloaded this msal library from a NuGet distribution and kept it locally. Otherwise, you can use a CDN. The problem with the CDN links are the quite older versions are in CDN. Latest distribution is through only NuGet. So that's why I have just downloaded it in here. And whenever there is a new release is happening, then I have to download it and extract it and keep it local. So that is a caveat here. So in this one, I have a HTML page where I have uh, I have this msal browser in old JS here, referred here in the script tag, and HTML in the HTML tags, I have a link that is actually calling a JavaScript function. That JavaScript function living in here. So in this JavaScript function, I create msal instance and I redirect a user to Azure AD. Then let him feed in the username and password. Once the login is successful, he is coming back to the application itself. Let's see a quick demo, and then I will explain more about the things. Right. So let's make sure this is working. Yeah, now it's working. Let's go to incognito mode, sign in. So I have a functionality saying when uh, when I click this one, the check user login will be called. I have two instances inside the msal instances inside the check user login. So if this is the first alert, it's going to say, hey, your global instance, msal instance saying you have no person is logged in. So, and the other alert is coming from here. It's saying your local instance also does not have any user. So I'm going to log in now. This is my personal Azure AD I have procured and created an application, and I'll show you the application configuration. So this is my authority and my client ID. I'll show you where you can fetch this information, and while creating an application registration, you will be inserting this redirect URI as well. So I'm going to put some password. I have successfully logged in now. I go back to the sign in button and I press again. Um, 1 second. So this is logged in now. Let's do it. Let's do this one again. It shouldn't be saying once I log in. It should not say that. So I'm going to say localhost 550. I'll say sign in. I'll show it in here. So this is my application. This is your Azure AD B2C's cookie. So you will be routed to this Azure AD page, and that will have a cookie for you. That will be storing your authentication. So once you log in, right? Once say that this is a browser and you have multiple tabs in it. If you log in into one B2C one time, Azure AD in one time, then the cookies are stored with the value with your identity, right? So the next time when you open the next app with pointing to the same Azure AD, then you don't have to put username and password again. So that is how it's working. Even if you log out from here using single sign out, you will be able to know, you will be able to see this is also getting expired, then you will not be able to log in. So I'm gonna put my password. So it is routed back to the page. You see this one, authentication is successful, and this is the username, right? And I'm going to press it again. See, my I have already logged in, right? So it is saying my global user login is one, and also the local one, which always check. We can use this function where I want to check whether the user is logged in or not, right? So this is working perfectly. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to open another application, portal.azure.com, which is a different, which is using the same Azure AD, but it is a different tenant. I mean, tenant is same. The application registration is different, right? So give me a second. So you see, I did not put the username and password again, right? It is already logged in because both all are sharing. Once you log in, right? This all are sharing the same cookies. So now I'm gonna delete this guy and I'm gonna open a new tab, and then I will log in portal.azure.com first, right? And see how this is taking advantage. Same user login. This is the first app actually getting logged in. Then Azure AD will ask you the username and password. Otherwise, it'll use the same cookie which you have already, it was already stored by the B2C. When I say B2C, it's Azure AD. So this is done. Now I'm going to our local app that I have created. I'll say sign in. So there is some lag, but it is I need to, let's do it again, right? First is portal.azure.com. Go to my team. Remember, this is the first app that I'm logging in. So it is asking me the username and password. So this is working. Okay, this is the cookies for the portal azure.com. So if you see, if you are logged in, right? Azure, once you logged in, Azure AD and the cookies are stored, then these cookies can be accessed only through msal. So that is why we are having this msal library here, and I'm giving this config like just like previous. I'll show you the this one also, right? So I'll show you the app registration as well. So go to the app registration in Azure. This is the app registration I'm using. You can refer this one. So this is where I'm getting this C0 thing, right? Go to the redirect URL. So you need to add the redirect URL so that the same thing it will come here, right? I've used localhost 550 personal index HTML. So I'm going to open the localhost one, host 500. The first time it says it does not have any account, but now it learned it. Now it's saying, okay, I have account for you, but probably this bug I have to fix it because it should say in the first time itself, right? So in the check user.login, I'm just checking get all accounts, and I'm saying, hey, you don't have any account. Then I'm calling this guy. So this will do redirect, right? Login redirect. That is giving an extra refresh so that probably I need to use acquire token silent, right? This is my local. So this is my global instance. I'm checking whether the user is logged in or not. Get all accounts. I'm doing get all accounts. If the account is empty, I'm refreshing this again. Then that's why I'm going back to the page, right? I'm going back to the page again. So this is then, and I'm in slicing. This is actually the same config that I have. So once you have, this is my local instance. I create PC, and PC also I'm getting get all accounts. That is also empty. And but once you refresh this one, so if this time here, get all accounts is empty. Then I will do, if the account is there, then I'll do whether this guy is able to procure a token. If he is able to procure a token, then he is successfully logged in. I'm using two uh, things here. One is login redirect, and another one is secure token silent. So login redirect actually sends me to login, right? It will redirect me to the Azure A to B, sorry, B2C page, right? Then I'll put the username and password and come back. So now I'm gonna acquire a token using the details I got it from B2C. Yeah, that is why this token is there. What I'm gonna do is now is like I'm gonna check whether I can acquire token redirect, right? On that one, I'll check. But hopefully, this has been helpful, and you can use when you. This is particularly helpful when you use a single sign out. You will configure the redirect friend door redirect URL in Azure that will actually trigger iframe hidden iframe that comes to your page, but still you would need some local checking. So this is actually to make sure that your local user logged in is expired. Maybe he is expired in B2C, but you may have the old token and you're trying to old identity, and using that you can procure a token. So if you're that single sign out, make sure that it'll you are signed up from Azure B2C, but you may able will be able to procure the token. So to avoid that, I'm using the identity of the identity you previously procured, right? And I'm making sure you are able to acquire a token from B2C. So this is actually calling B2C again and making sure you're already you're logged in still. Yeah.